Hello everyone, welcome to today's lecture. So did you study about pressure and force? Okay, it is very important to read the textbook. You may read the textbook and mark the points. Okay, and do your homework regularly. I am giving you enough time. Okay, now today we will deal with the topic, that is buoyant force. Okay, the spelling is very important. You may note the spelling. It is buoyant force. What is buoyant force? The upward force acting on the object in water or other fluid or gas is called as buoyant force. So what is buoyant force? It is the force which is acting in the upward direction. This you might have felt when we go to beaches. When we enter into sea water, as we go deeper and deeper, the weight of ours, okay, we feel that our weight have reduced. We feel a little weightlessness. What is the reason? The reason is the water is pushing us in the upward direction. So any fluid, whether it is a gas or a liquid, pushes an object in the upward direction. That force with which it is pushed, it is called as buoyant force. So we will see what is buoyant force. The upward force acting on the object in water or other liquid or gas is called as buoyant force. Okay, we will see in the textbook on page number 19 they have given an experiment, figure 3.10, balanced and unbalanced buoyant force. There they have given a bottle. You have to close it with the lid and put it into beaker of water. What will happen? It will float. Okay, it will float. Now you have to fill the bottle with water and put it into water again. Okay, what will happen? It is seen that it will float inside the liquid. Okay, with its lid down, it will float inside the liquid. You might have observed this. Okay, the bottle will float inside the liquid. Now why does it float completely? It floats completely because the weight of the bottle is less. That is one reason. The second reason is the water is pushing the bottle in the upward direction. Okay, so there are two reasons. The weight of the bottle is less and the buoyant force is more. What is buoyant force? It is the force in the upward direction. In the second condition, that means when you have filled the bottle with the water and you are putting it again, then what is happening? The buoyant force is a little less as the weight of the bottle is more. Okay, so the buoyant force and the weight of the bottle becomes equal, due to which it floats inside the liquid. Okay, if the buoyant force is very less and the weight of the bottle is more, then it will sink into the liquid. So what is buoyant force? Buoyant force is the upward force acting on the object in water or other fluid or gas. It is called as buoyant force. The definition is there on page number 19, third paragraph. Okay, third paragraph. In the paragraph, the empty plastic bottle floats on the surface of water. The last sentence in that paragraph. Okay, the upward force acting on the object in water or other fluid or gas is called buoyant force. Now use your brain power question. While pulling a bucket from a well, the bucket full of water immersed fully in the water appears to weigh less than when it has been pulled out of water. The answer I will be giving you in notes. You may write that answer, but we will discuss what the answer will be. Okay, when you are pulling a bucket full of water from a well, when the bucket full of water is inside the water in the well, what will happen? We will feel a little weightlessness. As soon as you pull it out of the water, what will happen? You will feel that it has become more heavy. Okay, the weight has increased. The weight has not increased. What has happened? When it was inside water, the water in the well was pushing the bucket in the upward direction. Okay, I repeat, when the bucket full of water was inside the water in the well, then the water in the well was pushing the bucket in the upward direction. As soon as you pulled the rope, okay, as soon as you pulled the rope and the bucket came out of that water, there was no buoyant force. So as there was no buoyant force, we feel that it is heavier. Okay, we feel it heavier because there is no buoyant force. That is the answer. Now there are two more experiments given. An iron nail sinks in water, whereas a ship which is built up of iron, it floats in water. Now what is the reason? The reason is the volume of the object. Okay, there are two factors which depends upon the buoyant force. Buoyant force depends upon two factors. What are they? Volume of the object and density of the liquid. If you take an aluminium foil, and put it into water, it might float. If you crumble it and put it into water, it will sink. If you make a boat out of it and put it into water, it will float. That means when you are crumbling, the size is becoming less. That means the volume is becoming less. The volume of the object becomes less. As the volume is less, buoyant force is less. So it will sink. Okay. So the buoyant force is more if the volume of the dipping object is more. So if the volume is more, then the buoyant force is more. So here the iron nail, okay, the iron nail, its volume is less, it is very small, its volume is less, whereas that of a ship, even if it is containing large amounts of iron, the volume of that ship is more compared to that of that iron nail. So as the volume is more, the buoyant force is more and it will float. So that is the first factor, that is volume of the object. Now the second factor we will see, more the density of the liquid, more is the force of buoyancy. Now I'll tell you, the density of fresh water is less than density of saline water. A ship which is flowing in sea water, consider this is the ship, there is water till here in sea water. When it enters into fresh water, it will sink more. Okay, I repeat, when it is, consider this is the side of the ship and this is the level of water. The water is still here. When it is in sea, consider when it is in sea, the water is still here. Okay, now when it is going to enter into fresh water, then it will sink into the water. Sink means it does not sink. Okay, that means it will come a little lower. Okay, why? Because the density of fresh water is less than density of sea water. So what is the factor? It is density of the liquid. More the density of the liquid, more is the force of buoyancy, or more is the buoyant force. So in sea water the buoyant force is more and in fresh water the buoyant force is less. Okay, so these are the two experiments given. One more experiment given is that of one lemon which is put into water. When you take a glass of water and put a lemon into it, what will happen? It will sink into water. Now what you have to do? You have to remove the lemon first. Okay, then you have to add 2 teaspoonfuls of salt into it. Okay, add salt into it and then put lemon into it. Then you may see that the lemon will float in water. I have not done it. You might do and see. Okay, whether it is correct or wrong. But what you have to study from that, you have to learn that more the density of the liquid, more will be the buoyant force. Okay, so what are the two factors which on which buoyant force depend upon? Buoyant force depend upon volume of the object and density of the liquid. whenever you are having a question on the factors, you have to write completely volume of the object and density of the liquid. If you just write volume and density, you might lose marks. What you have to write? You have to write volume of the object and density of the liquid. As the volume increases, buoyant force increases. As the density of the liquid increases, the buoyant force increases. Okay, done. Now, how will you decide whether an object is going to sink, float inside the liquid, or float? Okay, whether it is going to float inside the liquid, or to sink. Now what happens, we will see. The object floats if the buoyant force is larger than its weight. If the there are two forces, one is the weight and the other is the buoyant force. If buoyant force is more, then the object will float. If the weight is more, then the object will sink. If the buoyant force and the weight are equal to each other, then it will float inside the liquid. Okay, we will see what are the 3 points. The object floats if the buoyant force is larger than its weight. The object sinks if the buoyant force is smaller than its weight. The object floats inside the liquid if the buoyant force is equal to its weight. Okay, now this has been given on page number 20. Okay, on page number 20 you may see, do you know, there is a box. How is it decided that an object left in liquid will get sink in the liquid, will float on the surface, or will float inside the liquid? Okay, so that you may mark, it is a question which could be asked. So have you understood about buoyant force? You may mark in the textbook. Now the next topic is Archimedes principle, the last topic for this chapter. Archimedes principle is based on buoyant force. Have you understood buoyant force? So what is buoyant force? It is the force acting in the upward direction in water or in a fluid or any other gas also. Okay, even atmosphere is pushing in the upward direction. For example, when we jump out of the plane with a parachute, you might have seen that they float on in sky for some time. Okay, and when we open the parachute, there is the wind. Okay, there is the air which is pushing it in the upward direction. That is buoyant force. Okay, so in this experiment you have to take a string. Okay, this string is elastic. Okay, it can increase or decrease in its length. You have to tie a stone to it, to one end of it, and put it in the beaker. Not necessary you have to put it in the beaker, but it is just an experiment given. You have to take the length of this elastic or the thread. You have to take the length of the thread. Consider the length of the thread is about 13 centimeter. Okay, this is 13 centimeter. Now what you have to do, you have to fill the beaker with water and then put it again. Okay, then you have to take this and put it into water. Now you may see that the length has reduced to 9. This length, okay, this length you may see, this length has reduced to this much. Why it has reduced to this much? The water is pushing this in the upward direction. Okay, it is pushing it in the upward direction. Now how much it will push? Okay, is it going to push it completely? It doesn't go outside the water. Okay, now how much it is going to happen? That depends upon a principle which is called as Archimedes principle. We don't have it in detail. We just have the statement of Archimedes principle. When an object is partially or fully immersed means dipped in a liquid, a force of buoyancy acts in the upward direction. This force is equal to weight of the fluid displaced by the object. Okay, the weight of the fluid displaced by the object. Okay, now what will happen? If you dip a more bigger object, then the water will get displaced, the water will come in the upward direction. Okay, once consider you have the story of the crow, you know it. The water was less, then it put stones, the water came up, and the crow drank water. Okay, you know the story. Now what is the principle behind it? It is Archimedes principle. Okay, now if you put one stone, the weight of the stone is equal to the water which will come up, isn't it? Okay, if you put two stones, the weight of those two stones, that much of water will come up. Okay, this is a just simple example which I am telling you. This force, okay, what is the buoyant force? The buoyant force is equal to weight of the fluid displaced by the object. How much fluid is displaced by the object? Okay, that will be the buoyant force. Okay, so what is the statement? When an object is partially or fully immersed in a liquid, a force of buoyancy acts in the upward direction. This force is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the object. So how much buoyant force will be there? The जेवढा weight of the object आहे, it will be equal to the weight of the fluid displaced, which is equal to weight of the object. Okay, hope you have understood. If any question is asked on Archimedes principle, you have to write this statement which is there in the textbook on page number 20, last paragraph. Sorry, above that box. Okay, it is above that box. You may mark that statement and keep. Now where is Archimedes principle used? Where is it used? It is used for construction of ships and submarines, in lactometer, in hydrometer, etc. Lactometer is used to check the purity of milk. Okay, and this is to check the density of water. Okay, so here the Archimedes principle is used. This question is also asked. It is in the last paragraph. You may mark the paragraph. Now in the box on page number 21, there are 2 points: density and relative density. Now what is density? It is the ratio of mass and volume. Okay, it is the ratio of mass and volume. So density is equal to mass upon volume. What is its SI unit? Its SI unit is kilogram per meter cube. This is also asked. What is the SI unit of density? Dash is the SI unit of density. Okay. Now the next is relative density. Now relative density is a value which is a ratio of density of substance upon density of water. So relative density is equal to density of substance upon density of water. Okay, the definition are given in the box. You may mark. Okay, so this is the end of the chapter. In this chapter we studied about contact, non-contact forces, balanced, unbalanced forces, then inertia, different types of inertia, then pressure in solid, pressure in liquid, pressure in gases, atmospheric pressure, buoyant force, and Archimedes principle. A very important chapter. You have to learn it. Okay, you cannot write the answer in your own words. You write down the answers, make it simple as you can, and then learn the answers, and then you may write. Okay, now the homework for today. What is meant by buoyant force? What are the factors affecting buoyant force? Okay, I have written it on the board. You may write that, or refer to the textbook and write. It is there on page number 19. How is it decided that an object will float inside or sink in a liquid? There is a box, do you know, on page number 20. Okay, I had written the points on the board also. Use your brain power, page number 19, that is about the water in the well. Okay, bucket full of water in the well. You may refer to notes for the answer. An iron nail sinks in water but a massive ship floats on it. The answer is on page number 19. the complete paragraph. An iron nail sinks in water, but why does the massive steel shape float on it? When an object is dipped in a liquid, a buoyant force acts on it, and hence it appears that the weight of the object is reduced. Okay, so but you have to write about volume also. The volume of the iron nail is more compared to that, less compared to that of the ship. The answer is given in the notes. You may refer to the notes. Okay, now the next is, it is easier to swim in sea water than in fresh water. You may see the answer is there in the textbook. It becomes easier to swim in sea water than in fresh water. This is because the density of sea water is higher than that of the fresh water. You may write that statement. Okay, now state Archimedes principle on page number 20. I told you, may mark in the question in the textbook also. Where is it used? The last paragraph on page number 20. Define density and relative density. The answer is in the box on page number 21. So you might have understood by now that the textbook is very important. Okay, you have to read the textbook several times, and you have to learn from the textbook textual questions also, not only exercise. Okay, I will give you enough time to write and learn. Okay, thank you.